Hello everyone, good afternoon. Welcome to Protean's expert session on Supercharge your digital onboarding with Protean, Aadhaar APIs, PAN verification, ID verification APIs, more on this. So we would wait for some time till all the people join before we can kickstart our expert session. So please stay tuned. We'll wait for a couple of minutes so that everyone can join. So for all the new joinees, thank you for attending our expert session on Protean ID verification APIs and how it can help you to supercharge your digital onboarding, customer onboarding journeys. So we are waiting for a couple of minutes before we can kickstart our session. We have received a good number of registrations, and thus we'll wait for some time so that everyone can take the advantage of this session. Also, till we start the session, just some basic instructions. If you have any questions to ask, if you have any questions to ask, you can put it in the Q&A session or chat box, and we can get them answered on priority. Also, if you would like to know more about anything, you can just reach out, reply to the mail which you have received from us, or you can again place your queries in the chat box so that we will get them answered and we can help them to process. We can send a document notification on the mail itself. Yeah. Another 1 minute before we can kickstart our session. Thank you. Thank you for joining, everyone. So for today, we have just before starting the expert session. So today we have Ashish with us. So Ashish is the product owner for ID verification APIs, and he has been instrumental in developing and leading the platform for ID verification APIs. So we have, with ID verification, we have implemented this all solution in different organizations, and he has spearheaded those implementations. So, no, a wealth of experience which can help you to improve your own processes in your organization. So uh, Ashish, we will kickstart in another 1 minute. More 30 seconds to go before we can start our session. Thank you. Thank you all for joining. So let us kickstart our expert session. First of all, a warm welcome to everyone. First, yes, we will be sharing the recording and the Q&A of the session go after this. But do stay tuned for live Q&A because it's not every time that we have our product experts on the call. So yes, we will be sharing, but do stay tuned. Just starting our session, right? Customer onboarding. It's one of the key aspects of any organization because it brings in the money, and the more good the experience, the more good the retention, and the business goes on forever. Largely since last few years, we have been digitizing journeys of multiple organizations and banks across the globe. So we are seeing the emerging trend of what all things have been implemented in all the across the globe, and now slowly India is picking up on the trends. And there have been multiple queries, there have been multiple instances where based on the infrastructure which our government has built already, we are now leveraging this infrastructure to help our organizations, both private and public sector organizations, to easily onboard customer and provide services better, okay, to our customers. Just to help all these organizations, we as Protean are helping this initiative, and with all our solutions and softwares which we are developing. But there has been a lack of awareness regarding many initiatives what we are doing. So in order to cater to this and the different challenges which we are seeing, to smoothly implement all the you can say all the initiatives, and to take the full advantage of the infrastructure which the government has deployed, uh, uh, this session answer is for that. So today, in order to guide you through all of these queries, we have Ashish with us. So Ashish, a warm round of welcome and thank you for being the host for this session. And request you to take us through this subject of how our companies can simplify and supercharge their onboarding journeys.
Yeah, hi everyone. Thanks Rohan for setting the context. So last time we discussed how the need of digital onboarding is now arising because considering that traditional mode of onboarding, so which required a lot of time to onboard the customer, and there's required a lot of operational efficiency to bandwidth that goes for onboarding the client, right? So with the digital API as a concept, this is like what I personally also believe, that while even I am opening any account now, so within a 5 minute or 10 minute, I can open an account digitally, where earlier I used to visit a bank. Then I have to get the form, then I have to fill the form, then there used to be a discrepancy which generally takes 7 to 8 days, right? So this digital onboarding definitely has streamlined the entire user experience in terms of how quickly I can consume a product. Secondly, how effectively I can get the response if any information is not correct or any information need to be updated, right? So yes, I would say that with the digital onboarding journey or the API which is available nowadays, we can make the user experience as simpler as possible. So to start with, I'll just show you that the suit that we discussed last time, that can be basis that requirement, the product that we are having, we can cater to. So let me know, Rohan, if my screen is visible. Yeah. So basically, like last time we discussed that the ID verification suit. Yeah. So basically, if I divide entire journey in terms of the product, so typically there are the different segment which comes under this verification shoot. So one is that let's say individual verification. So while I say individual verification, this is more about the individual KYC, individual detail verification like bank account verification. Then your individual let's say voter DL passport, those verification which come to the picture. So this is basically more around when you're opening an account, when you are onboarding a customer for any use cases, right? Then we have a business or commercial verification which is around that onboarding a entity which required more tedious, or more detailed document in comparative to the individual verification that we do, which is like, the FSI certification that you wanted to verify there, the business KYC, business PAN card, all those you need to verify, right? Then we have an employment verification, which is more around where, if somebody is getting onboarded, so what is their past employment history, what is their PF balances, all those information need to be verified. So this is typically required where you are onboarding any employee or onboarding or any customer for the purpose of giving them a loan, right? So the credit worthiness or the background can be checked. So especially in the case of credit card, if I would say, right? So this is very critical there, to verify their where they are currently employed, what is their PF contribution. So this is basically required. So asset verification also, where you can do a verification in terms of all the details that you have, which is your very PI information that can be validated under the asset verification. Then you have the professional verification, which is like doctor detail, your CA, CS, all those detail can be verified. And while we have seen that, going one step, further, we have seen that, AI is also doing, lot of automation in terms of, building a intelligence around the existing API which is available. So where what will happen, let's say if somebody is giving you a document which need to be, checked, whether it is tempered, whether it is forged document. So AI can help you to, define that, if the document is forged or document is tempered. So for example, on the passport photo, if I pick that photo and put it on the PAN card photo, right? So with that AI help, we can forge check the forgery of the document. With the OCR, like any document which is there, which is in the physical form, you can just upload that document, you can extract all the information, and then that information can be used for verifying through the source, right? So all those capability makes it very easy in terms of onboarding the customer or onboarding the entity as fast as possible. So I'll now take you to the platform which is Rise with Protean, where we are trying to simplify your experience in terms of giving you a number of API based on your requirement. So yeah, is my screen visible? Yeah. Yeah, Rohan, is my screen visible? Yeah. So basically, this is our platform Rise with Protein, where what we are trying to do is that, as of now, we have seen that, while you interact with, in your existing, day-to-day work, you must be engaged with multiple, corporate for some or the other APIs requirement, right? So what generally happen that, within a organization, if they are having a multiple API suite, right? So it happened that, each API is not consolidated at a single place, right? It is coming from different internal application. So what happened in that case, the format also varies. So for example, if you are taking a pen value APIs, then you are taking an Aadhaar API, the request response body will be different for both, and the encryption logic will also vary. So with the Rise with Protean, what we have done, we have created a developer friendly portal where you can not only consume our API, but you can just get aware about the API, that what is the particular API that is used for. Secondly, what is the expected request and response? So rather than having a dependency upon manual documentation, that what can be the request, what will be the the response. With this platform, you can just go through each minute detail, which will help you to evaluate it better. So rather than having a dependency on somebody, like what mail they will send, then you will evaluate on this portal. You can log in and you can just see all that detail. So for example, I'll show you the product API product that we have listed. So what happened that, here we have listed that, entire details. So what is, for example, a DigiLocker? So we have given a background that, particular what this particular API does, right? So if you see here, we have listed all that relevant API which is required. So I'll just open one for reference. So for example, mobile authentication, which is required for verifying the user, right? So here you can see all that detail pertaining to this particular API. So which is like, these are three steps which is involved. Mobile verification with OTP, right? So what is the mobile number consent data to be passed? Then what will be the response? So in this, what will happen? The OTP will be sent, right? And in the second case, what will happen once you generate the OTP, then you will verify the OTP. And with the third API, you will fetch the details from the mobile number verification that you have done. So this will be the response, like, the gender, your address, all those details, the service provider detail, type of connection, activation date, if the porting has been done. So all those can be seen on the platform itself. So rather than having a dependency on manual, checks in place, we have posted all that information in the platform itself, where you can just go through each and API based on your requirement. So this saves a lot of time in terms of decision making, I would say. So here you can see that, we have listed almost 100 plus API, which is required on the day-to-day business, right? So for example, if you wanted to fetch the document which is digitally signed, the DigiLocker can be used. If you wanted to, e-sign it, any document which need to be e-signed. So we have the e-sign pro as a product, which can be extended for, consuming the document workflow, where you can just initiate a request to digitally sign the document. It can be any document PDF file that you want to, sign. Then the bank statement analyzer that we have. So where, you can check the, sorry. So where you can check the customer, credit worthiness before granting any lending decision, or any loan which is required to be given, right? So all those can be verified. Then we have the mobile number verification, ODM registration check, then the mobile verification. Again, this is an advanced API that we have. So all those API we have listed here. So while you are consuming those API, you can just see that, what is the request and response also. So for example, I am again opening an the driving license API. So where we also support the test environment as well. So you can see that, the DL number to be passed, DOB to be passed, right? And all those detail in the response, you can see that, what you are expected to get out of this particular API if you consume. So while you are, let's say, looking at these information, if this suffice your requirement, we can start, working on this requirement in terms of uh, taking this ahead. Yeah. So here all those information are readily available. So further, let's say I would say that, further, if you wanted to, more know about any of that API in terms of, the overview. So here we can see all the list of API that we have. So we have created an overview page where you can just, go through about that from the awareness perspective, that what does this particular API does, right? So here we have given all those information. Then the integration guide is also available, which is without login also you can evaluate that, what is a sample request response, how it will be provided. So all those information can be evaluated from the portal itself, so that you can see it from here, right? So all those, like, UAT endpoint, all those information are available here. Then what will be the error code? What will be the reason of that, description of that particular error code, that can be seen. And this is last, which we have seen already, that, the request response that we were talking about. So all those information can be gathered from the platform. So now let's say, if I talk about, if I am a, organization who wish to, log in, or, approach to this platform to get the access. So as a first step, what I need to do is that, I need to create a sign up for myself, right? So why sign up? So that we can analyze that, the request is coming from the genuine source, right? So here you need to provide all your information in terms of, the first name, last name, company detail, the person who is going to access this platform, along with the company detail, right? So once this is done, we will be approving, we will be validating internally, and we will be giving you the access. So now let's assume the sign up is already done, right? I'll just directly log into the system basis that my sign up, which is already created. So once, let's say, you have already, created a sign up which is approved by our team. So we have that sandbox facility also available, where on the real time basis also we can validate the API that we wanted to test before consumption, right? That can be done. Secondly, we have all that information available, which we have seen. And if we wanted to consume any API, right? So we have the UAT setup ready, where I can just create my apps. So app is basically a identifier where I can just select the list of services that I wanted to consume. So for example, bank account verification, electricity verification, what is the description, app name that you wanted to assign, then the expected volume. This is optional. The IP address, which is required basically for, the whitelisting purpose at our end, so that the request is coming from a genuine source. Then the public certificate, which is basically for the encryption part. So once it is done, we will be giving you a access to, start testing basis that, the app which you have created for the selected APIs is verified at our end. so that by going to your app, you will be able to see the app which is created, and you will be able to see the API key which is required to initiate the request. So this is how our entire model works, where everything is we have tried to create it on the platform itself. So rather than looking at multiple I would say that manual process, everything is available on the single place. So here, once it is created, or any transaction that you are doing, so rather than having a mail based reports, you can just particular date range basis, you can pull out your transaction report as well, which will have all the detail of all the transaction that we are performing, so that can be managed from the system itself. So, and secondly, this is we have the prepaid model as well, where you can see that what are the available credit where the consumption is happening. So all those retail on a transaction level also, you can see it that this particular credit is exhausted or used for the mobile verification. So all those information can be seen from the platform itself. So this is one stop solution, I would say, to simplify your access to API. And once the access is done, you can test it. You can see that API key, all those detail, and the usage log from this portal. So use case can be anything, right? So from basis your requirement, you can just access the list of the API that you have, which can be even the email verification, ITR fetch, credit bureau, your FSI, your MCA, your passport verification, legal entity, Udyam verification, IFSC verification. All those information can be accessed through the API suite that we have. So this can be used in consolidation and as per your requirement as well. So where you can just keep adding the number of API that is required at your end. So any questions so far? Happy to answer. Yes.
So team, you can post your questions in the chat box and we can get them answered first. Yeah. So we have one question from Vinay, Ashish. So this is regarding, do you support CKYC APIs as well?
Yes, we have CKYC API as well, where you can use our search and download API for your basis that regulated credential which is created by SARSAI. We support.
We have another question from. Yeah. We have another question from Srijit. So he has posted it on Q&A. So that is about what are the APIs and the estimated pricing that you provide from Rise platform. So he wants to know about what all APIs are there and in any expected transaction fee, what is required. Ashish, yeah.
So basically, for the UAT in production, we have the APIs IP whitelisting process, where you can. Yeah, so we have IP whitelisting process for the UAT and production. So that will be used to whitelist before accessing to the platform. And in the PAN verification API to verify Aadhaar link, so basically it gives an status whether it is linked or not. So it does not give you that Aadhaar number, but it gives you the status whether it is linked or not. Yeah.
Also, there is one question regarding with Ponmathan. What is the procedure to check AML regulations?
So in the AML check, we have certain, court cases verification, then, negative PEP list. So all those validation that we do at our level, and basis that we give the consolidated response. So we do a due diligence in terms of, the detail available on the, in the social forum, where if it is, any negative list, if the user is appearing, any PEP list, the user is appearing, any court case which is, pending. So there we do a validation basis that we give back the response. So for the KRA API, we do not have right now. So that is in the pipeline, but if required, we can get it. And but vehicle history, yes, we have.
So Anna has one question that he's interested for you. Like, how we can
Sure.
do
So
it.
we
So
can
we can
set up
set up
a,
a
separate connect. So I
separate
think
connect. So I think
Rohan, we can
Rohan,
capture
we can
the
capture the
details in our
details in our
contact us
contact us
page, and
page,
there we can
and
set
there
up
we
a
can set up a
dedicated
dedicated
call.
call. Voice is breaking.
Okay,
Okay,
so
so
voice,
voice,
are we
are we
audible?
audible?
Yeah.
Team?
Yeah. Am I audible now? So what I was saying, yeah. So what I was saying, Mr. Vijay, that for the KRA, as of now, we do not have, but we can get it enabled on our platform. So this is under pipeline. We can get it. And to Mr. Ishan, yes, we have that available for checking the sanction list in the RBI banned entity. We have that. Yes.
Also, we have one question
We
from
have one
Raju
question from
Pandyan.
Raju
Do we
Pandyan.
have
Do we
any
have
API
any
for
API for
vehicle
vehicle
insurance claim
insurance claim
history or a
history or a
vehicle
vehicle
history?
history?
We have. We have. Yes, we have that API as well.
So
So
Ashish, can
Ashish, can
you
you
show
show
in brief
in
on the
brief on
portal
the
how to
portal
see
how to
those
see those
APIs and
APIs and
Sure. So I
sure.
will
So
again
I will again.
share my screen where we can see that list of API that we are talking about. So hope my screen is visible. So let's say first let's see that the CKYC API that the APIs that we have, so that we have already shown. So now that's the court case API that I was referring to. So we have the court cases list which is available. Then PAN verification, if I would say that is also the online PAN verification that we have. So these are the list of API. You can search it from here, and that can be used basis your requirement. So we have the vehicle RC authentication advanced API. We have that in the advanced we can give you that insurance detail as well. So that is also available. So from here, list of API that we have, I'll share that link, in the chat box from where we can just, select or search the API that we are looking at, and that can be further extended through our platform. So office location, not as of now, but we will add in our roadmap.
So
Team,
team, so team, if you have, we have another 5 minutes before we can move on with the session, close the session. So if any questions, pertaining questions are there, you can put them in the chat box and we will get them answered with Ashish. Apart from that, after this webinar, you will be receiving the key recordings, and I will be connecting with you with a list of all APIs. Okay, so that you can select them and we can share the transaction costs with you. So Ashish, we have one question from Vinay. Can we as a tech service provider be integrated with your Aadhaar eKYC solution? Can currently we have to repeat the integration for each bank and NBFC as everyone provides their own wrapper APIs for KYC. We want to avoid multiple integrations.
So this will require some regulatory confirmation. So I'll just get back to you on this, because what happened that, only that Aadhaar KYC services can be provided to a AUA and KUA. So where, as you correctly mentioned that, if you are a preferred TSP there, I can get it checked internally that how we can, do a agreement directly with the, client, but integration can happen through you. So if you are having any client which you are serving right now, so I think we can set up a call to, explain this model to our internal team, and from there we can take it ahead. Because that will save our, multiple integration also, because since you are already tie up with, all the regulated entity, and if they are allowed to consume the Aadhaar as a eKYC service, the agreement will remain with them, but you can be their tech partner. So we will have a discussion, detailed discussion around this with our, subject matter expert on this.
So thank you, Ashish. If any other questions, final call before we can have this insightful session done. Sure, Amol. We will get connected with you soon, and we will share the API list with you so that we can, get ongoing with the process. Also, team, if you are, if you want to request any other a session and a session with you, consultative session with your organization team, we can have that rolled out with you. Just drop in the chat box your interest, and we can get connected with you as soon as we can. Sure, Vinay. We will be connected with you soon. Yes, sure, Madan. And the meeting recording will be shared. Yeah, sure, Pawan Madan. We'll do that. So thank you. Thank you, everyone. Mod. Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for the session. And Ashish, thank you for helping us with your experience today. And we will be, having such insightful sessions going on next, from the next instances. So, Ashish, any parting notes?
Yeah. So team, like we discussed, the list of API which is available. So I definitely understand that, this will require more detailed discussion. So since the time constraint was there, we have not gone into detail. So I would request you, please share your, details where, you wanted to have more, detailed discussion, and we can set up a dedicated session and take you through all that offering that we have. So happy to address any concern which is there. And as of now, there's more than 100 APIs. So where we can kick start. And if do you see that any demand which is there, right? We can get those API as well on our platform. This is your feedback.
Sure. So thank you everyone for joining the session, and stay tuned. We will be coming up with more such insightful sessions going forward. Thank you. Thank you everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.